Hello, and welcome to the Love Your Work Life podcast. I'm your host, Elissa Shuck. Whether you're going for that next promotion, looking for a job, or making a career pivot, I'll teach you how to navigate it all so you can have the career you want. Welcome to Love Your Work Life, episode 93. Before we get started, I want to give you the dates that are coming up in February for my free masterclass, Feel Good at Work Again. I will be hosting this class on Thursday, February 9th at 9 a.m. Pacific and Saturday, February 25th at 8:30 Pacific. Be sure to check out the show notes. I have the link in there where you can go and register for these classes, and I also have the replay in there. So whatever the most recent class is, I am uploading that replay so you have all my latest thoughts on how to feel good at work again. All the tips, tricks, and strategies that I can think of that work, that will help you find some joy at work again. All right. Now, today's topic is about the problems that we face when we desire something new in our lives, like a new job, working someplace that actually appreciates us, and the disconnect that often happens between desiring it and actually getting it. So how do we combat this? What is the problem, right? We have a desire. So what is stopping us from getting that? And I've got to tell you, I really think the number one problem from moving forward and going from desire to actually having it is decision. I know it sounds overly simplistic, doesn't it? But it's not, because if you think about it, have you actually made a decision about what you desire? My guess, like for a lot of us, depending on the decisions and depending on how self-aware we are oftentimes stuck in confusion, feeling maybe a little bit discouraged. And the reason we feel that way is because we're thinking thoughts like, I don't know. What if it doesn't work? Or I could put in all of this time and effort and not actually land a great job. These are the thoughts that are holding you back in confusion and feeling stuck. Of course you would feel confused when you've got this conflict between something you desire and thoughts like that. Thoughts like, I don't know, or it might not work. So I want to give you a solution to this, a process for how to move forward and make your desire a reality. The first thing is decision. You can actually just decide in a moment. Have you ever thought about that? You just decide, boom, it's done, and you're moving on. It's 100% possible. It can be yes or no. It can be this or that. I love what one of the thought leaders I listen to says, and that is, you know what? If it's a hell yes, then go for it. And anything other than a hell yes is no. Even that sort of meh feeling, it actually means no. So instead of dwelling and indulging in indecision, let those not sure things turn into no, because the yeses and the nos are very powerful. They really are, because you can leave the no behind and move forward with the yes. Or if you decide no, then just stay curious. What would yes look like? Maybe you need to think about it more. A way to really dive deeper into the more important decisions is write out your reasons. This is different than pros and cons, because when you have a reason that you say yes or no to something, it means you won't have to go back and overanalyze and second guess yourself. You can remind yourself of the reasons for that decision and then just stick with it. That's all that's necessary, and it can happen so fast if you let it. Now, the good news is about making decisions is we also have the power to change our minds. This is another great thing that you can kind of reassure yourself with. Hey, I'm going to try this for a while, and if it doesn't work out, I can change my mind. If you get new information about something, then you can change your mind. But before you change your mind, I want you to stay committed for a while, because that commitment and the discipline of hanging in there for a little while will also help you know if your change of mind is because of new information or it's because of quitting. This is an important distinction to have. If the feeling around changing your mind is anything other than positive, then it's a clue that you need to take another step and check in on your thoughts. Because thoughts create feelings. Feelings drive actions, or another way I would put it, are feelings drive behavior. And quitting is a behavior. Inaction, staying still, is a behavior. So you want to check in on the thoughts that are driving your behaviors. If your thought is, this will never work, well, of course you want to quit, right? Because why would you want to fail? Thinking this will never work creates defeat ahead of time. It creates failure ahead of time. That's why checking in with your feelings that are driving the idea, the behavior, the action of quitting and changing your mind is so important. When you think something like, this will never work, you're actually creating that result in advance because you're cutting off any possibility of your brain being creative and coming up with solutions for you. Our brains love harmony. They love to show a matched outer world and inner world. That's why it's so important to be intentional with your thinking instead of going back to default thought patterns. So check in with that change of mind. Is it because you feel curious? Is it because you have new information? Is it because just in the pursuit of one thing, it opened your eyes to something else? That can happen. And the decision in the first place was a good one, because had you not pursued that, you wouldn't have seen these new other things. Once you have the desire, make a decision, my friends. Now, how do you make those decisions stick? The way you do that is by describing what success looks like on the other side of that decision. This is where it gets kind of fun, because this is actually a marketing tool brands use to help people take action and purchase their products. It's the call to action. How do you get someone to actually take action? You show them what success looks like on the other side. Why do people buy smartphones that take beautiful pictures and videos? It's because what the brand is marketing to us is what success looks like. They're showing us what it looks like to take beautiful videos that don't shake, that aren't blurry, right? That's marketing. And you can use this marketing hack on your own brain by showing yourself what success looks like on the other side of that decision. And by success, I actually mean having it. It's not all the stuff you have to do to get it. It's what having it looks like and feels like. Let me give you an example. So if you have, say, a desire to get healthy, and you decide on some things that you're going to do to make that happen. The describe part of this process isn't about, I have to give up this. I will exercise 3 times a week, right? Those are the actions, but those aren't the end result. And the success is the end result. So you want to instead describe how you're going to feel, what you're going to look like. Will your clothes fit? Will you buy new clothes because you have a closet full of clothes that don't fit anymore? How are you going to feel? That's really the most important aspect of it. And let's apply this to a career. If you decide you're going to go for that promotion, or you decide that you're going to leave that toxic workplace and move on to a role that's challenging and helps you achieve your full potential and you feel appreciated and valued again, then don't focus on the job search actions. Of course, there are going to be things you have to do, but you won't motivate yourself to do them if that's all you're focused on. If all you're focused on is the actions that you must take. Instead, focus on the success. Focus on the result. What is it going to feel like? Especially describe the feelings that you'll experience after you land that new job. If you decide that you'll have a stress-free life, then go deeper. What does stress-free actually mean to you? Stress-free could mean something very different to you than it does to me. That's the level of detail I want you to get into when you start describing what success looks like. What does it look like on the other side of that decision? Not all the stuff in between. You'll figure out the stuff in between. You will. Because when you start focusing on the reality that you're going to have as a result of the decision, your brain goes to work for you. Brain physiology is on your side, my friend. It truly is. Describe your end result with as much detail as possible. Put in the visuals that you want to have, but more importantly, describe how you will feel, because those feelings are what's going to drive action. You don't have to worry about the how. Your brain has so much to offer you when it comes to how, in the creativity and the innovation and everything that's available to you in the amazing mind that you have. If you ever start to second guess your decision, go back to your thoughts. Have you allowed yourself to slip back into thoughts that are creating the opposite feelings that you need to keep going? No problem. Guess what? You get to decide to change your thoughts anytime you want to. Desire, decision, and description. Those are the 3 keys to getting what you want in any area of life. But of course, you know, my primary goal for you is to love your work life. I'll catch you later. If you like this podcast, I invite you to visit the Love Your Work Life website at elissashuck-careercoach.com. On the site, you'll find all the information you need to work with me one-on-one, as well as get access to my courses, Job Search Field Guide, and The Art of Stellar Interviews. I can't wait to help. I look forward to seeing you there.